Because I believe you're controlled either by the mind of the flesh or the mind of the spirit. Your body on one side, through which you have 5 senses for you to communicate with the world around you, with that which is below or without, outside of you. You've got 5 spiritual senses as well, for you to communicate with God through your spirit. And you have indications of that when Scripture talks of Moses and the children of Israel. They endured as seeing him who is invisible. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying to the churches. And Jesus, Isaiah said, in spoke of his coming, said he will be quick of scent. How often you say, well, I smell something fishy here. I don't know what it is, but there's something about it, I believe it's spiritual scent. It's trying to tell you something. It's not right. But we've never exercised them. We've never developed them. And you can't develop them if you don't realise you've got them. And that's what I believe Christians, because in the 5th chapter of Hebrews, it says, though Christ was the Son, yet learned he obedience by the things that he suffered. And this is speaking of his high priestly ministry, the order of Melchizedek. It says he learned obedience by the things which he suffered, and being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself. It says, when for the time we ought to be preachers, we have need that somebody teach us the first principles of the doctrines of Christ. The first principles. It says we are in need of milk rather than meat, because we haven't exercised our senses. And I believe he's talking about the spiritual senses. We live too much by the natural and by the intellect and everything else of the hero of time, rather than the new man in Jesus Christ, who is now resident within us. And until we hand over to him totally, then we're going to have problems and continue to have problems. But I believe the Lord, through much of the trials and tribulations and persecution and all these things, is working that in us so that we will decrease and he increase. And not I, but Christ lives in me. And the life I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. There's no substitute for Jesus Christ, Son of the Lord God. And so, praise the Lord.